Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to my YouTube channel or my podcast. I'm Caminada, the multidimensional guide, and I'm here to help you awaken, heal, and expand your consciousness. The other day, I offered some suggestions for a video, and most of you voted for simple practices to help you connect with your higher self. So this is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I think the first thing that we may need to talk about is what is your higher self? And of course, there are many different explanations, different schools of thought, but I want to briefly share what I personally believe and how I see the higher self. So right now you are in a human form and you're alive because you have a soul. The soul is that sparkle that gives you life, that enables you to take your first breath. In Latin, soul is ANIMA, which means it animates the body. When a soul enters the body, it animates, and you're alive. And when the human form dies, the soul leaves. The soul for me is a fragment or a ramification of your higher self, because you are a multidimensional soul, meaning there are other souls having other experiences in other times and spaces, other dimensions and planets and star systems, or I believe even in the same space and time. And all these souls come from the same spirit, which is the higher self. So imagine a tree. Your higher self would be the trunk, your soul would be the branch, and you would be the leaf. The other leaves are versions of you having other experiences, but at the same time connected to that same trunk. So in that analogy, all of the leaves and branches are receiving energy and life from this trunk. And if you were to think of the trunk as your higher self, this means that your higher self is the all-knowing source of your soul or your soul's journey. Not the source of all there is, even though we are all connected to this one consciousness. But here I'm talking about the source of your soul's journey and of your life as an individual here and now. That's why connecting with your higher self is connecting with the part of you that knows what's best for you for your highest good. You could see it as the highest aspect of intuition, because intuition can be you hearing your guides or your soul, but the intuition that comes from your higher self is really the one that sort of has a panoramic and timeless vision of all of your soul's experiences. So I hope there's some clarity around the theme of higher self, soul, intuition, and if not, let me know in the comments what your questions are and I'll be happy to respond or even do another video about it. Okay, so the practices that I want to share with you are actually very simple. It's basically one practice and 3 steps: connect, ask, and receive. So here's an acronym for you: CAR, connect, ask, and receive. Connect with your higher self, ask a question or a few questions, then open yourself up to receiving the answer. A simple practice to connect is to set a little time to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, connect with your heart center, and you can use some meditation music, frequencies, binaural beats, or sound healing instruments. But also believe that just you having the intention and staying quiet does work already. I highly recommend doing this in the morning as a meditation practice when your energy levels are still fresh. Another time to connect and also receive the answer is right before you get up. You know, when you wake up and you're kind of awake, half asleep still, so your brain is still in theta waves, and this means you're operating from the subconscious mind mostly, almost as if you were between two worlds. So this is a good time to either ask a question or to receive a little nudge from your higher self about something that has been on your mind. And actually, I would even say that you can ask the question as you fall asleep, instructing your subconscious mind to connect with your higher self during your sleep time, aka astral travel time, then receiving an insight or a nudge in the morning as you awaken. This may also even enhance your dreams too, and I have an episode all about the different types of dreams which you can watch here, or you can find the episode 89 if you're listening. So let's talk about the asking part. Ask a question, and you can be more open and just say, "Dear higher self, what do you want me to know today?" Or it can be something more specific. "Dear higher self, what is the best path for my career right now?" Anything really. But I would personally try to avoid yes or no questions. Should I stay? Should I go? Questions about the future. Will I do this or will I that? And questions that involve other people's free will. You can ask questions about other people, but in the way that they are related to you, and obviously for your highest good, always for your highest good and the highest good of all. Now, when it comes to receiving the answer, which is like the manifestation of your question, if you will, you have to be patient, but more than that, open to receive it in ways that you may never guess. You may visualize something in your meditations, you may hear telepathically a message, an idea might pop up in your mind, you may feel something like an emotion coming up, or maybe you might even feel something physically. My number one suggested practice would be journaling. So after you connect, you ask the question, then you just start free writing on a notebook or your device. Let the words flow without judgment and let go of any expectation. And this is the hardest part, right? The key is just to keep writing without judgment. You may or you may not get anything. You may write something completely random and that it won't make sense for you in that moment, but later it might. So this is another thing too. When you ask the question, you may receive a sign, a nudge from spirit, a synchronicity that may come after a few hours, days, months, or even years. Time is not linear in the higher dimensions. So again, connect, ask, receive, and really be open to develop this communication with your higher self and try to make it fun. See your higher self as a constant presence in your life. If you saw the Pixar movie Soul, you would have seen the higher selves of the souls that were about or training to come to Earth. And if you haven't watched it, here's a great recommendation, and you can watch it again even with this more multidimensional perspective. Another recommendation is this meditation that I have on my channel that will help you channel from your higher self. You can try this meditation every day and see if your connection with your higher self, which is always there, by the way, you're always connected to it, but you can see if doing this meditation develops it further. As always, keep shining your light, keep your heart open, and let love lead the way. I love you. See you in the next episode.